Hello everyone, Reginald Scott here. Welcome to the video. Great to see you all again. Hope you're all doing really well today. Today I've got a tabletop unboxing video. Got a bunch of stuff in the mail from AliExpress, which is where I do most of my bicycle item related shopping nowadays. And the thing is, I buy a bunch of stuff and then it takes so long to arrive that I completely forget what it is I actually bought. So I have no idea what's in these packages. I haven't even checked my account to try and remember. I want it to be a surprise for me and for you guys as well. So you can join me in the pleasure of unpacking these items and working out what it is I actually bought. I do believe it's all bicycle related, and I don't think there's anything incriminating or embarrassing in here. Depends how you look at it, I suppose. But if there is, well, you get to see that as well. So, that's the surprise for the future of the video. Who knows what it could be? It could be, my illicit arms and drugs cache that I've shipped in from Guatemala. Anyway, before we continue the unboxing video, please do like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share with a friend, all that good stuff. It helps the channel out absolutely massively, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now, it's been a long time since I've done a tabletop unboxing video. What should we start with? Let's go smallest first. So let's just push this one to the side. So I've got this one here. It says bicycle parts, which doesn't really tell us much other than it's probably not drugs. There we go. And oh, no, still got a bit more paper and stuff on here. Hang on a minute. What's the best way to do this? I want to cut through it without ruining the box because the boxes are always useful. Ah, there we go. There's the edge. This knife looks pretty brutal, but it's actually not that sharp, to be honest with you.
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
See what I mean about it not being very sharp? There we are. Ah, okay. So these, not amazingly interesting, but these are the clamps for a Shimano Ultegra shifter set, basically. So I have these are not for me, these are for a customer. So I have a customer who sweats a lot and doesn't change his bar tape much. When I say doesn't change his bar tape much, maybe once every couple of years. And as a result, he rusts through his shifters and rusts through the mounts for the shifters, these clamps here. So I've had to buy him some new ones, and the only place I could find them easily was AliExpress, and they weren't too expensive. I did recommend him to go for the titanium version of these, which would be slightly lighter, but the added bonus is they won't rust. But the titanium ones were double the price, and he didn't want to pay that, so we've got steel ones again. So these he will corrode through, probably again, but hey-ho, that's, his call. So there you go, that's what they are. Not amazingly interesting. Push that over to the side. So the first one wasn't even for me. The first one was for a customer. Whoops. That sounds heavy, doesn't it? Right, what's in this one? Oh, this is also pretty small. Hopefully this one's for me. All right, what does this one say? Bicycle pedal. I don't think so. Looks a bit small for that. Gracious, they really go to town on the tape, don't they? I'm wondering whether a more sensible device would be a pair of scissors. There we are. Ah, okay. So these are pedal screws and washers. Hang on a minute, let me go get my shoes. Okay, here we go. These are my Look Keo cleats, and these are a replacement for them. Now, these look absolutely fine, so why am I replacing them? Well, these ones are special. These ones are made of titanium, my absolutely favorite material to make everything out of. The question I always ask myself with anything bicycle related that I own is, why not titanium? That's the question I ask myself. Like, it's lighter than steel, about 40%, 50% lighter. It's doesn't corrode like steel, doesn't rust. and it's as strong as steel. So why wouldn't I replace everything on my bike and my kit with titanium if I can? And recently I was on AliExpress and I saw these and I was like, you know what, I've got to do it. Can't remember how much I paid for them. I'll stick the price up on the screen so that you can see. But, you know, they're pretty chunky, but they weigh nothing like that. That is so light. Let's do a comparison between the original ones and the ones on my shoe and see how much they actually weigh. What size are these? Okay. This is an, what is it? 3 mil key? Yeah. So the new ones fit a 3 mil key, which is very small indeed, and the old ones fit a 4 mil key, which is probably better, to be honest with you. It would have been better if they could have machined them with a 4 mil hole, but never mind. I think they're less likely to strip as well. Now, as you can see, I use copper grease on my threads for my steel ones, and I will still use copper grease for the tie ones as well. Oh, that was tight. Okay. Yeah, quick tip, if you don't know already, draw around your cleats once you know the position. Makes putting them back very easy indeed. All right, so steel. Let's see what the weight of the steel ones are. So one set of steel is 13 grams. So that'd be 26 for both. And what's one set of titanium to set you back? One set of tie, 9 grams. So, you know, not amazing saving, but it's something. And like I say, these won't rust or corrode. So that is an added bonus. And they're very pretty as well. Look how shiny that is. Well, they're both pretty shiny, actually. There you are. I don't think I'll have any problems with those. 9. For me, it's worth it. Oh, it's saying 8 grams now. Like I say, this scale is not particularly accurate. So there you go. Wonderful. Happy with that. I'll get around to changing those in a bit. Just put this stuff to the side for a moment. Get on to the next one. I might need that scales again. Who knows? Let's see what's in this one. Okay, so I was right, it is drugs.
You got one part of that wrong. This is not meth.
What's it say? Oh, it actually says paraffin wax for candles. There we are. So, this is my crystal meth. Lovely. So basically, I bought, it should be 500 grams of wax, according to the website, according to the page. Oh, they stiffed me out a few grams. It's not fully 500 grams. They said it was 5 and it's less. Oh, dear me. Been cheated. Cheated out like 20 grams worth of wax. Anyway, so why have I got a big bunch of paraffin wax? So what I thought was, it's about time for me to try and do chain waxing as easily as possible, right? Because I'm very lazy, and the reason I gave for not waxing my chain previously was twofold. One was the environment here is very humid, very damp, and it rains a lot. So basically, you know, paraffin wax on its own is not really that good if it gets wet. You have to continuously re-wax everything every time it gets wet. There are techniques and oils and things you can add to it to make it more water resistant, but then the oils themselves attract dirt, which kind of defeats the point of having a wax chain. So what I'm thinking is I want to experiment with waxing, and what I want to do is make it as simple as possible, because all the people I know on YouTube that do chain waxing, to me, make it way more complicated than it needs to be. All right. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to experiment with this. I'm going to wax a couple of my chains and see how simple I can make this, because I do believe in the benefits of chain waxing. I do believe that, yes, it reduces dirt on the chain. Yes, I do believe it makes you faster. Yes, I do believe it increases longevity of chains. But the reason why I always used my oil previously is just for convenience, time, and the fact it gives me protection against water. So, like I say, I'm going to experiment, I'm going to try, see what I can do with it, and whatever results or technique that I come up with for doing the simplest, easiest waxing, I will post on YouTube and you guys can learn from it, from my failures or my successes. So that's why I bought 500 grams of paraffin wax. It says for candles, but I mean, is this scented? I don't think it is. It just said raw wax. It didn't say anything, any additives or anything added to it. No, it doesn't smell of anything really. Whoops. Yeah, it just feels like normal wax. There you go. Made in China. Cool. We shall see. I'm also not going for any fancy waxes. I'm not going for any of the $100 kind of waxes. I don't really see the point in those. If it works for basic wax, it works. Only like less than 1% of the cycling population would ever even consider buying those high-end waxes, and even less percent of that would probably be actually gaining any benefit from it. So I think basic wax, standard wax should be the way to go. Right, that was interesting. So that's a future video coming up. Okay, last one. What's this say? Bike parts. Okay, good. At least it's bicycle parts. It's relevant to my channel. It's funny how I forget like what I've actually bought. I think that is kind of funny. God, this knife. I have a better knife. Right. Aha. I know what this is. So, a while ago, I posted on my community page on YouTube a poll, and I asked everybody what sort of bike computer I should consider buying, because I've been using the Polar computer for a long time. In fact, I've only ever really used Polar computers ever since I graduated from a wired cat's eye, the old ones with the wire and the magnet that goes around the wheel. That was the first computer I had, was a cat's eye one like that. And then ever since I went to a proper GPS computer, it was always Polar. And recently, my Polar started to die on me, and I thought it's about time I found something else, and why not ask you guys what you think I should buy. So you guys said an IG Sport, that was the thing that got the most votes. I mean, it was only like 4% more than the next one on the scale, I think. So it was close, but the IG Sport won out. So I bought an IG Sport. I will stick all the details of this one in the review video, but it wasn't that expensive. Similar price to what I paid for the Polar, to be honest with you, maybe a bit less. And let's take a quick look at it now while we're here. So I got a heart rate monitor as well. Now, I hardly ever use a heart rate monitor, but I do have one for my Polar, so I thought it only fair I buy the one for this as well. Plus the fact with the heart rate monitor, now I'm getting a bit older, it's probably a good idea to monitor my heart rate just in case. Just for health reasons, really. So, what's in here? Oh, they're the rubber for the mounts. This is actually important to me because I prefer... Right, sorry about that. I had to let my wife in the house because she forgot a key or something. While I was away, I grabbed my Polar computer. So this is my Polar, so we can compare the two. But this kind of mount here that goes on your handlebar is my favorite kind of mount because it's the lightest one, it's the simplest one. And what I tend to find here in Brunei with these kind of extended mounts is that they because they're out in front of you, they tend to pick up the sunlight a lot and reflect it back in your face, and you're forever changing the angle of the mount to try and get the reflection away from your face. Whereas when it's under you on your stem, it seems to reflect less. That's just what I've found anyway. This is a really heavy duty mount as well. This thing weighs a ridiculous amount. I'm going to have to find a way to lighten this bad boy. Goodness me. I'm a weight weenie. I cannot believe how heavy this thing is. 50 grams? Goodness me. That is ridiculous. I think I managed to get an aluminium one down to like 20 grams or less. That is stupidly heavy. Yeah, I'm going to have to lighten this thing up somehow. Or just not use it. I think I'll just take these bits off here and find a way to attach that to my stem rather than use this ridiculously chunky mount. That is stupendously solid. If you like a good solid mount, this is really nice. But if you don't, goodness me, that's ridiculously heavy. I paid extra for this as well because I wanted, what did I want? I wanted the heart rate monitor, right? And the package that was on offer, it was heart rate monitor and this. So I paid extra for this, even though I just wanted the heart rate monitor. The other packages didn't contain the heart rate monitor. Some contained just this. What was the other stuff that I got? I got this thing, which is the cover and the case for it, and the lanyard. I didn't really care about that stuff because I never really dropped my computer, although I have, but not often, and it's absolutely fine. I think a computer should be robust enough to be dropped every now and again. But yeah, I don't really drop it that much. And this has got like protective glass and everything, so it's freebies that I didn't really care about, but it's nice to have, I suppose. That's the kind of mount that I want to use though, because it's the lightest one possible, and I'm all about the lightness. So yeah, I will find a way to modify this and make it lighter. Maybe I just cut this section off and just mount that to the top of my bike somehow with a set of screws. Who knows? Let's have a look at the computer. So it looks a bit bigger than what I've got right now. How do I open this? Ah, there we go, just pull. There we are, there's what looks like a power button on that side, option buttons, probably a menu button. Oh, that could be to change the menu. That's to go, I guess, because it's got a play button on it. That's definitely up and down menus. That could be a light or something. Backlight, perhaps. It could be a power button as well. Let's press it and see what happens. No, there we go. It is a power button. I'm going to turn this off and read the manual first. It will not let me turn it off. How do you turn it off then? Yes. English, please. How do I select? Time zone. See, I'm stuck now answering questions. I don't want to answer questions. What am I? I think I'm like 7 hours ahead or something. I have no idea. I just want to go back. How do you turn the damn thing off?
You shut that thing down, and we are not going to be held responsible for whatever happens. No, we won't be. Shut it off.
There's the power. How do you turn it off? Is it just? Am I just stuck in this now?
I'm not interested in your opinion. Just shut it off.
I guess I'm just going to leave it on. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the setup right now. I'm lazy. I'll come back to it later. So, weight-wise. So, my old Polar M460, which I do like, is 51 grams. So, that puts this in perspective. This weighs only 1 gram less than the entire Polar computer. And the new one, IG Sport, 66. Oh well, never mind. I do like a light computer. I might still use this on certain days. So there you go. That is the new computer. It will be tested thoroughly, and then I'll give my review. I don't like the fact it won't let me back out. So I'll have to read the manual. All right, folks, thanks for watching. And as always, please do stay safe when you're out cycling. Hopefully you enjoyed this rather random video of me being confused. So there you go. I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.